Hello.
All righty, Kent, go ahead.
Couple things. When do you expect Kayla back in Minnesota? She's not here already. And I wanted to ask you a follow-up on some of the things you said about Damiris the other day, talking about how much she had gained maturity. And I was looking at the stats, and her finish to last season was amazing. She was your highest scorer in the playoffs, averaged, I think, 18 points and almost 8 rebounds over the last 7 games. Is that when you saw that kick in, or can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, first part is Kayla's stateside, so she's in the country making her way here. So the trek across the ocean is done, and now she's just getting through on her connecting flight, and should be in Minneapolis, hopefully around 5. And then Damiris, I think when Sil went out is probably when. We saw the elevation, as we went to Fee and went to Damiris and told them both that they had to share the load, and we needed them both to become more, I use the word elite. I need Nafisa Collier to be an elite rebounder. I don't know that, Damiris can reach elite, but she needed to be above average rebounding. And so, we put that on the two of them. And then just, I think, Damiris just felt really comfortable playing off of Fee. That combination of 4-5, depending on who had the matchup on the inside. Fee likes to be in the paint. Didi likes to be away from the basket. But then also their recognition that was really kind of fun to watch, that they could take turns. Didi had more post-up opportunities last year than I remember in a while. And so they just, did a nice job playing off of each other. And so, I think Damiris was really when Sil went out that we saw that. And, she had a tremendous season for us, and was a big reason why our offense was as efficient as it was. And then the rebounding, we'd have been much worse. We might have been 12th and not 10th in defensive rebounding if she didn't get us a few more.
No forward hit more threes than her last year.
Yeah.
And she was kind of the definition of a stretch 4 for you.
Yeah. I mean, she hit, I know, put Seattle in a bind, I think, in the playoffs where, if you left her even a little bit open, she had such confidence. So she had a tremendous end of the season. I agree.
Jace, go ahead.
Yeah, Cheryl, probably not an elite rebounder, but you probably would put her in a class of elite scoring bigs who just maybe does it in a different way than others. I mean, is that fair?
Yeah, I think elites should be reserved for the most elite. I do like Damiris and think he's a very good player. But I think that what we saw from Damiris was scoring in a variety of ways, not just being a 3-point shooter. I thought her post-up game was very, very good. She's got the Brazilian Dirk Nowitzki move, that she likes a lot. But I thought she was even more than that. I thought that, she could play with her back to the basket and make, different moves. Got to the foul line, was strong in the paint. So I think what I liked was just the more of the variety to what she was doing.
And then, obviously you're not going to be at full strength here to start the year, at least not Friday. But we've seen before in the past how, especially with the playoff structure, every game matters. So how have you went about making sure that this team is as prepared as possible with who you're going to have to be successful even Friday night?
Yeah, that's got to be our mindset. We were well versed in the bubble. We ought to have the same mindset this year that, we're starting the season because of late arrivals, not, a little bit disjointed. But just like in the bubble, we said it can't matter. We just have to move parts around, and maybe a player that ordinarily would be in this role, if we had everybody, I have to move them. Maybe I have to elevate them. And so you just take what you have and you go try to win the game. And, that's what we did in the bubble after we had a couple injuries. And, that should be our mindset as we still are living in the COVID time. And at any point in time, we could have a player, as you saw with the NBA, scratch for a game. So you've got to have the mindset. And I think we've said this before, this is a little bit like the G League. You got players, you don't know who's being pulled up. You don't know whatever. You just got to go with what you got. And you have to have the ability to know what are your strengths at night and, try to, have schemes and that it's not dramatically changing. It's just moving parts around.
Is there a comfort that some of the players who maybe will be asked to elevate at different points of the season were some of the same players who had to elevate at points last year as well?
Yeah, and those players look really good in camp. And so that time, that experience, Bridget Carlton really comes to mind. I would say Rachel as well. They've come in with a different mindset. Last year, I know for Rachel, it was kind of her first year. She was feeling things out. She's not feeling things out. She's grabbing the bull by the horn. And same with Bridget, that they come here with just a different confidence because of what they did in the bubble. So they are elevated already from the start, and whatever their role is going to be, I don't have to ask them, to be a little more aggressive, et cetera. They know exactly how to get their work done. And that was because of what they did in the bubble.
Any other questions for Coach? All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab Damiris. I will be back shortly. Jace, I'm gonna start with you when Damiris comes, and then Kent, did you have a question after that, or do you want me to go to Cody?
Go ahead and go with Cody. I'll raise my hand if I have a follow-up.
Copy that. So we'll go Jace and then Cody.
Thanks, Corey.
Good.
Let me just get the recording going again. Okay, Jace, go ahead.
Hey, Dee. With Sil, you talked about how much you love having her on the team and love having her as your teammate. What is it about her that makes her such a good, almost like mother figure for players on the team?
What makes her a good mother figure for the players? So,
Yes, my big mommy, she protect everybody in the team, and not only in the car, and all the in the car or outside the car. She takes everybody. She cook for everybody. Take care of everybody. So yeah, it's big mom. It's not only for me, but for all the team, my teammates.
What's your favorite thing that she cooks?
She cooked, I think 3 days ago, barbecue, chicken, salad. It's so good.
Sounds good.
I'm cook Brazilian food for Big Mom.
Oh, what's on the menu? What will you make?
I make rice and beans and meat. Yeah.
And then, how much confidence did you gain last year when Still went out and you played so well, being so aggressive? Like, did that give you confidence moving forward here into this season?
Did how you played last season give you confidence for this season?
And still no in the court?
Yeah, because Sil wasn't on the court and you got to play so much.
Yes. So still supports me every time for help and about your injury, and go out and support me for everything. She tell me for defense, offense. So yeah, I'll be ready for the season. Play together with my mom. I miss you.
Just you were so aggressive on offense in the second half of the season, and it went like so well. Like, are you planning, even with all the scores you have, is the plan, I guess, to stay as aggressive as you were and keep taking shots because it's proven to be so good for the team when you do that?
Yeah, I think continue my shots. I think this season I'm more focused in defense too, more aggressive in defense. So continue to make my shots and let's go.
Thanks, Didi.
Thank you.
Cody, go ahead.
You're the star player, the go-to player on Brazil. Cheryl said she believes you can be that player for the Lynx. How have you felt yourself grow since coming back to the Lynx 2-3 years ago?
I know what you're saying. Can you say one more time? Sorry.
Cheryl believes that you can be the same player that you are for Brazil with the Lynx. How have you felt yourself get better over these last few years into being a focal point on offense?
I think I don't understand, but yeah, she talked to me about this. She looked me in the national team, and she say, "I want you come here and do same," but so I need to change. I think for me here, sometimes it's hard because I don't speak English, but I feel better every season, better, and yeah.
Any other
I'm
questions for Damiris? All right.
One last question. One last question, Didi. One last question.
Boo.
Why do you think the Lynx are such a great match for you?
Why do you think the Lynx are?
Why do you think the Lynx? Why do you think the Lynx are such a good match for you? Why does it work so well for you here?
This is my first team, and no Brazil. This is my first team in the America, so the Lynx supports me for everything. 2014, so I'm so happy and play this team. This team support for everything. I think about this. Everything supports me. It's easy for playing the core, more comfortable. Yeah, this.
All right. Anything else? All right. Thank you, Didi.
Thanks, Didi.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Didi.
it.